Hello and welcome back to Daily English Upgrade. Let us practice our English listening together. Today, I will tell you a story about a young man named Emmanuel. It is a story about facing challenges, about feeling lonely, and about the power of not giving up. Are you ready to begin? Let us go. My name is David and I will be your guide for this story. We will follow Emmanuel on his journey. You will learn how he struggles, how he learns, and how he finally finds his way. This story will show you the meaning of perseverance. Chapter 1: A New Beginning. Our story begins in a large, busy city called Bridgeport. Emmanuel is 24 years old. He just moved to this city from a small, quiet town. In his small town, everyone knew each other. The streets were calm. The life was simple. But Emmanuel wanted something more. He wanted to see new places. He wanted to build a better future for himself. So he found a job in the city and rented a small apartment. He was very excited about this new chapter in his life. He arrived in Bridgeport on a sunny Sunday morning. His apartment was on the third floor of an old building. It had one room, a small kitchen, and a big window that looked out onto the street. Emmanuel unpacked his bags. He put his clothes in the closet. He placed a photograph of his family on the table. He was ready to start his new life. But on Monday, everything felt different. Chapter 2: The First Challenge. Emmanuel's first day at his new job was difficult. He works as an assistant at a design company. The office was very big and modern. There were many people and everyone seemed very busy. They walked quickly. They talked quickly. Emmanuel felt slow and confused. His manager, a kind woman named Sarah, showed him his desk. She introduced him to the team. There was Maria, who works on computer designs. There was Ben, who talks to clients. And there was Chloe, who organizes projects. Everyone said, "Hello, Emmanuel, welcome," but they immediately returned to their work. Emmanuel sat at his desk. He did not know what to do first. He felt a heavy feeling in his stomach. He was nervous. He missed his old friends. He missed the quiet of his hometown. In this big office with the sound of typing and phones ringing, he felt very alone. That evening, he returned to his small apartment. The city outside his window was loud with cars and people. He felt very small. He thought, "Can I really do this? Is this a mistake?" This feeling is called doubt. It is a normal feeling when we face something new and big. Chapter 3: A Difficult Week. The first week did not get easier. Emmanuel tried to learn his new job. He had to use a new computer program. He made several mistakes. One time he sent an email to the wrong person. Another time he was late for a meeting because he could not find the right room. He felt embarrassed. He wanted to do well, but everything was so hard. At lunchtime, his colleagues often ate together in the common room. They laughed and talked about their lives. Emmanuel wanted to join them, but he felt shy. His English felt clumsy. He was afraid he would say something wrong, so he always ate alone at his desk. He watched the other people in the office. They all seemed so confident. They all seemed to know each other so well. Emmanuel felt like an outsider. He thought, "I do not belong here." This is a common feeling when you are new to a place. It is a feeling of isolation, but Emmanuel did not give up. He went to work every day. He tried his best. This is the first step of perseverance, just showing up. Chapter 4: A Small Decision. After 2 weeks, Emmanuel was very tired and unhappy. He called his parents on the weekend. He told them about his problems. His mother listened carefully. Then she said, "Emmanuel, you are stronger than you think. Do not forget to be kind to yourself. Big trees grow from small seeds. Start with one small thing." This advice was simple, but it was powerful. Emmanuel thought about it. He realized he was trying to do everything perfectly all at once. He decided to change his strategy. He would focus on one small, positive thing each day. On Monday, his small goal was to learn one colleague's name better. He chose Ben because Ben sat next to him. In the morning, when Ben arrived, Emmanuel looked at him and said, "Good morning, Ben." Ben looked a little surprised, then he smiled. "Good morning, Emmanuel," he said. "How was your weekend?" It was a very simple question, but for Emmanuel it was a big moment. It was his first real conversation with a colleague. Let us pause here for a moment. This was a very important step for Emmanuel. He did something small, but it was brave. he started a conversation. Sometimes, when a big problem feels too heavy, we must break it into small pieces. We must focus on one small step, then another. This is how we build confidence. This is how we make progress. Emmanuel and Ben talked for only 2 minutes about the weather, but for Emmanuel it felt like a victory. It was a small seed of confidence. Chapter 5: Building Connections. That small conversation with Ben was like opening a small window in a dark room. A little light came in. The next day, Emmanuel tried another small step. He asked Ben a question about their work. "Ben, can you show me how you use this design program? I want to learn," Emmanuel said. Ben was happy to help. He spent 15 minutes showing Emmanuel some simple tricks. Emmanuel listened carefully. He wrote down the steps in a small notebook. He said, "Thank you, Ben, this is very helpful." On Wednesday, something new happened. At lunchtime, Ben turned to Emmanuel and said, "We are going to the coffee shop across the street. Would you like to join us?" Emmanuel felt a jump of nervousness in his chest. His first thought was to say no, but he remembered his mother's words. Start with one small thing. Going to coffee was a small thing. He took a deep breath and said, "Yes, I would like that, thank you." That lunch break was not perfect. Emmanuel was quiet for most of the time. He listened to Maria, Ben, and Chloe talk about a movie. He did not understand all the words, but he smiled. When Maria asked him, "Do you like movies, Emmanuel?" he simply said, "Yes, I do. I like adventure movies." It was a short sentence, but it was enough. This is how we build connections. It starts with one yes. It continues with one simple sentence. You do not need to give a long speech. You just need to participate a little. Chapter 6: Learning and Growing. With more confidence at work, Emmanuel started to learn his job better. He was not afraid to ask questions anymore. He often said, "Can you please explain that again?" or "I am not sure I understand. Can you help me?" His colleagues saw that he was trying hard. They started to respect his effort. Sarah, his manager, noticed his improvement. One day she gave him a new project. It was a small project, but it was important. He had to prepare a report for a client. Emmanuel worked on the report for 3 days. He checked all the information twice. He asked Ben to check his work. He wanted it to be perfect. When he gave the report to Sarah, she read it carefully. She looked at Emmanuel and smiled. "This is excellent work, Emmanuel," she said. "It is clear and it has all the correct information, thank you." In that moment, Emmanuel felt a warm feeling of pride. He did it. He completed a task well. He felt like he was finally becoming a part of the team. This feeling is called competence. When you work hard and learn a new skill, you feel competent. You feel that you can do things well. This feeling is very powerful. It chases away the feeling of doubt. Chapter 7: A New Challenge. Just when Emmanuel started to feel comfortable, a new problem appeared. The company had a big meeting with an important client. Sarah asked Emmanuel to prepare a short presentation. He had to speak for 5 minutes in front of everyone. The idea of public speaking filled Emmanuel with fear. His hands felt cold. In his small town, he never had to speak in front of a group. He was terrified. That night, he could not sleep. He practiced his presentation in his apartment over and over. But every time he forgot the words, he thought, "I will fail, I will embarrass myself and my team." This is a moment when many people want to quit. The fear feels too big. But Emmanuel remembered the difficult first week. He remembered how he felt alone. He had passed through that. He was stronger now. He decided to use his same strategy, break the big problem into small pieces. His first small piece was to write his presentation in simple, clear sentences. He did not use complex words. He wrote what he knew. The second piece was to practice alone. Then he asked a small favor from Ben. "Ben, can you listen to my presentation? You can tell me if it is clear." Ben agreed. Emmanuel practiced his presentation with Ben as the audience. His voice was shaky and he made 2 mistakes. But at the end, Ben said, "The information is good, Emmanuel, you just need to speak a little slower." This was helpful, honest feedback. It was not criticism, it was help. Emmanuel felt supported. He practiced again, speaking more slowly. The day of the big meeting arrived. Emmanuel wore his best clothes. He held his notes in his hand. His heart was beating very fast. When it was his turn to speak, he stood up. He saw many people looking at him. For a second, he wanted to run away. But then he looked at Sarah. She nodded her head with encouragement. He looked at Ben, who gave him a small smile. Emmanuel took a deep breath. He began to speak. "Good morning, my name is Emmanuel. I will talk about our project timeline." His voice was shaky at first. He looked at his notes. Then he remembered Ben's advice, speak slowly. He took another breath and continued. He did not look at all the people. He looked at one friendly face, then another. He explained the project timeline. He spoke for exactly 5 minutes. When he finished, he sat down. His hands were still shaking. But then Sarah said, "Thank you, Emmanuel, that was very clear." The client nodded in agreement. Maria gave him a small thumbs up under the table. In that moment, Emmanuel felt an incredible wave of relief and happiness. He did it. He faced his biggest fear and he did not fail. It was not perfect, but it was good enough. This is often what perseverance leads to, not perfection, but good enough, which is a great success. Chapter 8: Finding a Home. After the successful presentation, something changed in Emmanuel. He felt that he truly belonged in the team. His colleagues now often invited him to lunch. He started to explore the city on weekends. He found a beautiful park where he liked to walk. He discovered a small library that reminded him of home. He even started a new hobby. He began drawing in a sketchbook. He drew buildings from his neighborhood. He drew the view from his office window. This creative hobby helped him relax and see the beauty in his new city. 6 months after he arrived in Bridgeport, the company had a party. Emmanuel stood with his colleagues, laughing. He looked around the room. These people were no longer just colleagues, they were his friends. The city outside was no longer loud and frightening. It was full of life and opportunity. He felt at home. Chapter 9: The Lesson of Perseverance. So, what can we learn from Emmanuel's story? Perseverance is not about being strong all the time. It is not about never feeling afraid or lonely. Perseverance is about continuing to move forward even when you are afraid. It is about taking one small step and then another. It is about asking for help when you need it. It is about being kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Emmanuel's journey was difficult. He felt doubt, he felt isolation, but he showed up, he practiced, he learned, he built connections, he grew more competent and confident. Vocabulary review. Let us review some important words from our story. Perseverance. This means to continue trying to do something even when it is difficult. Emmanuel showed perseverance by not giving up on his new life. Doubt. A feeling of being unsure about something. Emmanuel felt doubt about his decision to move to the city. Isolation. The feeling of being alone and separated from other people. Emmanuel felt isolation during his first week at the office. Competence. The ability to do something well. Emmanuel felt a sense of competence after he completed his report successfully. Confidence. The feeling that you can do something successfully. Emmanuel's confidence grew with every small step he took. Remember these words, they are not just for the story, they are for your life too. Final thoughts in your call to action. Everyone faces challenges like Emmanuel. Maybe you are learning English and it feels difficult. Maybe you are in a new situation and you feel nervous. Remember Emmanuel's story. Remember that big trees grow from small seeds. Do not try to do everything at once. Choose one small thing you can do today to practice your English. Perhaps you can learn 3 new words. Perhaps you can listen to this story one more time. Perhaps you can introduce yourself to someone new. Be like Emmanuel, be brave in small ways. Practice, do not give up. Your perseverance will lead you to confidence and success. Thank you for listening to our story on Daily English Upgrade. We believe in you, keep learning. Keep practicing, and we will see you in the next video.